Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time, with our newfound Surf TM, HM rather, wouldn't it be nice if it was a TM, we were able to go and explore several areas requiring Surf that we couldn't explore before. And now, in this episode, we are going to continue doing that by heading over to Route 6, because there's some stuff that we can get over here that we can only get using Surf, which is super duper awesome, such as this. Heart Scale, very nice. I believe I've already explained what these do. So, best we collect as many as we can. Let's surf this way. We can bypass certain portions of the route by doing this, which is very nice. And right over here, aha, this is something new. You see these dark spots over there, they can be fished on to find special Pokemon, but they may also be surfed on, like so. And of course it is Basculin, a Pokemon that we already have, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but I guess we're going to have to deal with it. And unfortunately, as you can see, since my Gastrodon is just so darn slow, sometimes it can have a little trouble running away, because that is what running away is based on. It is based on speed. So that's something we're going to have to keep in mind. Anyway, over here, we have a hidden item. Big mushroom sells for money. And up here, we have... Aha, I believe this is new. No, it's not. We caught this a few episodes ago. Derp. Anyway, let's just run away from this one. And we have a King's Rock. We're going to have to keep this in mind because it may be used for evolution in the future. And I know you see that thing up there. We're just going to conveniently ignore its presence for the time being. Deerling, a Pokemon we also already have. I very much appreciate that we're running into so many Pokemon we already have. Gives me hope that we're not getting too terribly behind on our Pokedex completion. Anywho, let's surf over here, and I believe what we want to do now is we want to head over this way. Can we avoid the encounters as much as we can? It would be nice if we could. Alrighty. Now what we would like to do is we would like to surf over this way, because this is the final portion of the route that we have not yet explored. Take this long surfing path over here. We have an item. TM56 Fling. Very nice. We're beefing up our TM collection, which I very much appreciate. And finally, all the way over here, as you might notice, there is indeed a legendary Pokemon right here. However, not to spoil anything, but this Pokemon is part of a trio of legendaries, and we do not have access to all of them yet, but once we do, oh boy, we are going to have some fun with these guys. Anyhow, right through here is Mistralton Cave. As you might notice, it is very dark in here, which means super unfortunately, we are going to have to break into our TM collection. We are going to have to break out the almighty, completely useless, except for this one time pretty much in the entire game, Flash. Highly unfortunate. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to teach this to Magneton, but luckily we have a pretty beefy collection of TMs, so we can just replace this with some other TMs later on. So I think we're going to get rid of... I'll get rid of Spark. We definitely have some other electric-type TMs that we can use, and if not, I'm sure we'll get them soon. Do we have Thunderbolt yet? Well, we have Volt Switch. We can always teach it that. There's no way it doesn't learn Volt Switch. Unfortunately, it looks like we do not have Thunderbolt yet. Hopefully we'll be getting that soon. Anyway, want to hop on over to our Magneton and break out Flash. There we go. That should make exploring this area a little bit easier, and exploring this area is going to be the main bulk of this episode. Looks like we also have to use Strength. This is a veritable HM and TM smorgasbord right here, because already Flash, Surf, and Strength to explore this area. Luckily, it appears that the area is relatively linear, so it looks like we shouldn't have too much trouble exploring around here. Fun fact about this cave, that legendary Pokemon that we spotted a few videos ago, Cobalion, it actually used to call this cave its home. However, it no longer does. So we're going to have to keep that in mind going forward, because it's entirely possible that we'll be encountering that Pokemon in a different area later in the game, which we're going to have to keep an eye out for. And of course, Sturdy buff strikes again. I remember when this Sturdy buff first got announced, and oh, if only we knew how frustrating it would be in the single-player campaign. I know it definitely is far more useful in multiplayer now, but in the single-player, really all it does is act as a frustration. Alright, what's he got next? Torkoal. I believe Torkoal is pure fire, so we shouldn't have any trouble taking this guy out, and I'm pretty sure this thing can't pack Sturdy. Which would be ideal, of course. Down it goes. Very good. Alrighty. One trainer down, few more to go. Anyway, push this boulder, and we have access to this spot. I heard there was a legendary Pokemon in Mistralton Cave. There used to be, sir. There used to be. This cave entrance was not here in the original Black and White. It connects to a post-game area. So we're going to have to come back here once we have beaten the game and seen the credits for the first time, because there is some stuff that we can only get after we have done that. As you might imagine, given this is a Pokemon game, my great loves in life are mountains, food, Pokemon, but food deserves to go in there twice. I like you, sir. I really do. Alrighty. Packing 3. Alright, this shouldn't be too terribly hard. So, I feel it is my civic duty to ask how everyone's holiday was, because now that the holidays are over, we can get back to the daily grind. The holidays are definitely an enjoyable part of the year, but sometimes, once it's over, you're just happy you can relax a little bit more. Because, as we all know, the holidays aren't really a time for relaxing with all the cooking and the visiting of the families and the buying and giving of gifts and getting gifts and all that crazy chaotic stuff. For the past 3 Saturdays in a row, I have been out of town visiting family, so it's going to be very nice to just kick back and relax. Oh my. Alright, we got Sturdy here, of course, because why wouldn't we? Luckily, our Gastrodon is taking hits like a champion. And down goes Crustle. Very good. Getting close to that level 44 right there, which I appreciate. And of course, up next we have Lileep. If I remember correctly, one of these things gave me quite a lot of grief in one of the very earliest parts of the LP. Those were the days, huh? I can't believe we're already almost at episode 60. It's kind of insane. Just goes to show how much bigger and broader Pokemon games have become, given that we only have 5 badges and we're almost at episode 60. Crazy stuff. I'm still a bit 50-50 on whether or not I think we're going to be beating the game by episode 100. But I guess that goes to show that this is going to be a very grand adventure indeed. In fact, it already is. We have a phenomenon right here. Are we going to get a wild encounter? No, we are not. We are going to get a gem, which is also appreciated. And right over here, we have another Covenant ore. I believe we got one of these last episode, so it's good to get a good stash? Stash. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Good to get a stash of them going, even though there will be a point later in the game where we can purchase, I believe, every single evolution item we could possibly ever need. Anyway, that is the way to the upper floor, but I would like to progress a little bit further down here and explore everything we can. And of course, right here we have a wild Pokemon, Why Not, which is a Pokemon we do not have yet. Can you take this hidden power and survive? I believe I remember Wynot to be relatively bulky, even though it is a baby Pokemon. Yeah, look at that. It took a hidden power to the face like a champion, and of course it countered that. That's the weird thing with Wynot and its evolutionary line, is that it's really not built around dealing damage in the conventional sense. It's mainly built around countering attacks that it is hit by, and sometimes that can get quite devastating. So I think we're going to just try and catch it, because if we don't attack it, it can't do any damage to us, which is pretty awesome. So anyway, let's see if we can catch it with this Great Ball. Darn it, it was so close too. There we go, Wynot was caught. Not bad at all. It grows strong by pushing up against others en masse. It loves eating sweet fruit. Nothing wrong with a good little bit of fruit, eh guys? Anyway, let's see if we can explore a little bit further here, because up here we have this item, Dusk Ball. These things are going to be our absolute very best friend in the entire universe going forward in the LP. Psychic Gem, very nice. I'm pretty sure these gems are one use only, so it's nice to get a little bit of a collection of them, although I usually don't end up using them. And of course we have a trainer right here, because why not? If there's a steep cave in the east, I go there and train my Pokemon, and if there's a strong trainer in the west, I go there and challenge that trainer. Words to live by, I guess. Alrighty, I don't believe there are actually too many trainers in this area. If I am not mistaken, I believe there are only 4. So there should only be one more after this, which is good. Anyway, Dragon Pulse. Because Axew, which is a Pokemon I don't think we've seen yet, is a Dragon type. We might have seen it, I'm not sure. Our Pokedex is quickly approaching 400 seen, which is insane. So it's kind of hard to keep track of what we have seen and what we haven't seen, because we've actually seen a majority of the Pokemon in the game already. Not by much, but we have. Kinda crazy. Anyway, Shelgon is yet another Dragon type, which means yet another Dragon Pulse will do it in. And Fracture, which is the evolved form of Axew. This person looks to be a full course of Dragon types, which means he's a full course of getting a Dragon Pulse to the face. Very nice. Alrighty, get even more money for that. I'm pretty sure Gastrodon is holding the amulet coin, but I really don't think it's something to be fussed about, because we're already loaded. Alright, so we can't go that way. We can't go that way, so it looks like our option is this way. That really looks like a spot for there to be a hidden item. And what do you know? Axew can actually be found in this area, and I think I definitely want to catch one of these things. Don't really feel comfortable attacking it in any capacity with my Lucario here because that level difference. So let's see if we can just catch it straight up. I know this isn't the intended way to do it, but we can always hope. Dang it, that would have been amazing. Hopefully we'll get the ability to buy Ultra Balls soon, because I'm starting to get in that position where I feel like they would be necessary. Who knows, we might have the ability to buy them already. Its large tusks have a tendency to break, but each time they grow back, they grow in harder and sturdier. Very nice. Kinda like if you get a blister in real life, your skin is said to come back thicker and more resilient. Anyway, even more strengthing to do here. Very nice. Alright, which way shall we go? I think I want to go this way. Yeah. Green shard, very nice. Can be traded to a tutor at some point in the game. I'm not entirely sure where, though. Anyway, let's head over this way, and I think we want to head over southwards first. I think that would be the best way to go, because over here we have a hyper potion. Very nice. Unfortunately, we interrupted that dust cloud right there, but that's okay. Here we have Aron, which we also don't have. I could have sworn we had this one. I mean, okay, I'm not complaining. I really like Aron as a Pokemon because it evolves into the almighty Aggron. And oh man, that thing is a force to be reckoned with. What is also a force to be reckoned with is this thing, because I have a feeling catching it is going to be a little bit of an ordeal. Very nice. That actually didn't take too darn long. Alrighty. In order to build up its steel body, it eats iron ore. This pesky Pokemon is known to eat railroad tracks. That is no good. I have a feeling, and I'm sure they don't want to tell us this because it's pretty grisly, but I have a feeling that Pokemon is responsible for several train accidents over its tenure in the series. A little dark to think about now, isn't it? And wow, yet another Pokemon we don't have, Teddiursa. Man, we're making a killing in this cave. Considering what I just mentioned about train accidents, that's probably in poor taste. Anyway, I definitely don't want to attack this thing with a Lucario's attack because it is normal type, and that wouldn't be good. But luckily we caught it on the very first throw, which is awesome. So let's add even more data to our Pokedex. It lets honey soak into its paws so it can lick them all the time. Every set of paws tastes unique. How do you know that? Do you know where those paws have been? Sheesh. Alrighty. Anyway, it looks like we have the last trainer in the cave over here, so... Wait a sec, let me grip my Pokeball a little bit tighter. Yeah, like that. Now I'm good. What? Okay. Alrighty. Last trainer. Once again, 3 Pokemon, and don't tell me this is an exact team repeat. Once again, opening up with an XU. I mean, if it is a team repeat, I'm not necessarily complaining. I just like a little bit of variety from ace trainers, at least. You'd think an ace trainer would be smarter than opting to train one type of Pokemon, but I guess not. Aha, get bite, so it's not an exact copy, but it is still a dragon type. So let's bring it down with another well-placed Dragon Pulse from my hilariously overpowered Lucario. If it makes you guys feel any better, my Lucario is probably not going to be very useful at all in the upcoming Pokemon Gym. So if it's bothering you that my Lucario is quite over-leveled for this point in the game, don't worry about it because the next gym is mainly going to have to be deferred to the other Pokemon on my team if I want to exploit any sort of type advantage. Anyhow, down goes that ace trainer, who is saying some strange things. Anyway, what is over here? Aha, a shortcut back. That's very nice. However, I think to get the rest of what is in this cave, we need to progress up that way. And of course, as soon as I try and go for the Dust Cloud, wild Pokemon. Looks like this is actually one we already have. Really surprised. I believe we've already caught 4 brand new Pokemon in this episode. Not sure if we're going to see any more, but if we do, I will be sure to catch those as well. Anyway, what's up here? What's the deal with this little loop around? Aha, we have Blue Shard. Very good. Yet another shard to be traded to Move Tutors. Another wild Pokemon, and it is something we already have. I always get a little bit crestfallen when it's something we already have, because catching a new Pokemon is one of those thrills when you're playing the game. Because it's pretty much the main thing you're supposed to do besides battle and train is catch Pokemon. Axew, yet another Pokemon we already have. I'd really like to throw up a Repel right now, but any Pokemon that we can catch now is a Pokemon that we don't have to catch later. Because I'd really like to not do 8 of those mass catching session episodes in a row this next time I plan on doing them. I'd rather do more like 5 or 6. So if we can get our list of Pokemon to catch down a bit, I would be very, very pleased with that. Alrighty. Now, is there anything else we can actually grab over here? No, there is not. However, this is a shortcut back to the upper floor. Here we have Bagon, which we actually already have, because I'm pretty sure this is a very, very rare encounter on, I want to say, Route 20? Which is one of the earliest areas in the game, and we got lucky to actually catch a Bagon on our very first visit there. Back when it was pretty much the latest area we'd been to, which is very impressive. Anyway, over here, Firestone. Wow, that is not common, but I appreciate that. And we have a full heal hidden in this rock. Very good. So as you can see right up here, this room does not require Flash to navigate. This is a special room in Mistralton Cave called the Guidance Chamber. This is the chamber in which Cobalion resided in the original Pokemon Black and White. However, here in the sequel, as I mentioned, it is no longer here, so we're going to have to see if we can encounter it somewhere else. Right here we have an escape rope, which would be nice if I didn't have a Pokemon with Dig, however I do, so I don't have to worry about that. And right up here we have TM80 Rock Slide. That is a good TM, and I'm definitely going to be putting that on some of my Pokemon. Unfortunately, it is slightly inaccurate, so that could pose an issue in the future. But anyway, here we have even more new Pokemon. This is Kangaskhan. Nice thing about Kangaskhan is that it doesn't evolve from or into anything, meaning once we catch this thing, that is yet another full evolutionary line complete, which is awesome. So I'm going to jump cut to when we catch it. Okay, we got it. Getting a little bit nervous there. We're running low on Great Balls. Definitely next time I'm in a shop, we are going to be picking up some of those. It raises its offspring in its belly pouch. It lets the baby out to play only when it feels safe. Very nice. I want to point out that that thing is 7 feet tall. I would not want to piss off a Kangaskhan because it would... Man, it would maul me so hard. Ugh. Aha, Matang. This is yet another Pokemon we do not have. We do have Beldum, however, because we obtained one in an earlier area of the game. I believe it was the Verbank Complex. Unfortunately, Matang is one of those Pokemon that has a comically low catch rate of 3. Yeah. So, weakening it here, moving in for the catch, but I am a bit apprehensive of my ability to get a hold of this thing, so let's see what we can do. Yeah, you see that? Oof. Anyway, jump cut, and hopefully we'll wind up catching this thing, because I'm a bit nervous on this one. Okay, you know you got RNG'd when you throw all your Great Balls at the darn thing and they don't work, but the third Pokeball you throw gets it. Aye. It is formed by 2 Beldum joining together. Its 2 brains are linked, amplifying its psychic power. Very nice. I'm going to enjoy sending you to rot in my box. Alright. Anyway, progressing forward here, we have even more boulders to push. And now that I look at it, I find it highly likely that my item finder is pointing at this rock right here. Oh wow, it actually isn't, which means that rock is totally pointless. Complete decoy. So let's push that boulder and that boulder. and that will allow us to get over to that rock, but not before even more wild Pokemon show up. Luckily, this is one I already have, so I don't have to spend 5 more minutes in a cut trying to catch the darn thing. Man, when we eventually get to attempting to catch Metang's evolution, oh, that is going to be quite the ordeal to do. We have, over here, nothing, so we have this guy. I've been searching for the legendary Pokemon Cobalion for decades. I wonder if it still hates humans. Or maybe it looks at this world where Pokemon and people coexist, and has thoughts about it. Interesting stuff. Right over here, in perhaps this very spot, or maybe this very spot, or maybe this very spot, one of these spots is where Cobalion would make its home, pretty much, in the original Black and White. You would show up to this area, and it would be just chilling out there, waiting to be caught. But as you'd expect, it wouldn't come quietly. Anyway, we have an Ursaring here. I'm going to hit it with Confusion, because Confusion isn't too terribly strong, and I think this thing should be weakened a bit. Yeah. If you hadn't guessed, this is the evolution of Teddiursa, meaning if we catch Ursaring right here, we'll have completed yet another evolutionary line this episode, which is awesome. Alright, please don't critical, very good. Alrighty. Unfortunately, I've used up all my Great Balls, meaning this is my current Pokeball inventory, so we might be here a while, unless we get very, very lucky. Darn it, that would have been so amazing. Alrighty, we got it. That took a little bit longer than it probably needed to, but we got it. In its territory, it leaves scratches on trees that bear delicious berries or fruits. Very good. To box 8 with you. Alrighty, so that is actually the end of this cave. This cave is indeed a dead end. Unless, of course, you count that blocked off area on the first floor of the dungeon, but I personally don't, because all that does is loop into yet another dungeon anyway. So anyway, what I would like to do now is I would like to do the manly thing and spin around in circles to get out of this cave. Very nice. Once again, we're going to casually ignore the legendary Pokemon behind the curtain, and we are going to be heading off in this direction, because now that we have explored that cave, we have nothing more to do but press onwards. But very, very first, I would like to heal up my Pokemon. Very nice. I suppose I could technically run back to town and grab some more Pokeballs, because we are a little bit low, but I'm pretty sure we have like 80 Pokeballs left on our person, so I think we're probably going to be good for next time on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, because then we are going to be heading into Chargestone Cave, and hopefully progressing even further in our Pokemon adventure. So, without further ado, thank you all for watching this episode of Pokemon Blaze Black 2, in which we explored the very, very dark and mysterious Mistralton Cave, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.